My beloved child, stop and listen closely, for this moment is not ordinary. This moment has been written into the fabric of your life from the beginning of time. You are not here by mistake, not listening to this by accident, and not stumbling upon these words because of chance. I, the Lord your God, have placed this message directly in front of you because it is your appointed time. For so long, you have waited, for so long, you have hoped, and for so long, you have wondered if the day of fulfillment would ever come. I tell you now with the voice of eternity echoing into your heart, the waiting season has reached its end. The door you prayed for has opened. The moment you dreamed about has arrived. This is the hour you thought might never come, but I say to you with love and authority, it is here now. I have watched you wait in silence, holding on to faith even when it felt like faith was slipping through your hands. I have seen the way you carried hope like a fragile flame, protecting it against the winds of doubt and despair. Many nights you asked yourself if I had forgotten you, if I had overlooked your prayers, if your tears had gone unnoticed. My beloved, I was with you through every moment. Not one sigh escaped your lips without reaching my heart. Not one tear fell without being gathered by my hand. Every longing, every whisper, every prayer spoken in the dark was heard and treasured. And though you did not see it, I was working, aligning, shaping, and preparing the moment that has now come before you. You thought the waiting was wasted, but I tell you now, none of it was in vain. Every delay had purpose. Every moment of silence carried meaning. I was not ignoring you. I was preparing you. I was not withholding good things from you. I was aligning everything so that when I opened this door, no one could shut it. You wondered why others moved forward while you stood still. You wondered why their dreams seemed to come quickly while yours were delayed. My child, I was protecting you. I was keeping you from stepping into blessings that were not yet ready, from entering rooms that would have harmed you, from walking through doors that looked good but were not meant for you. What you thought was a pause was actually my mercy. What you thought was rejection was actually my redirection. And now, in this very moment, you stand on the threshold of fulfillment. Hear me clearly now. The waiting season is over. What you have prayed for is no longer a distant dream. What you have hoped for is no longer out of reach. What you have longed for is no longer hidden behind closed doors. I am placing it in front of you now. I'm opening the gift I prepared for you long ago. I am showing you that I never forgot. I never abandoned. I never turned away. The moment you have dreamed about is unfolding before your eyes. Do not doubt it. Do not dismiss it. Do not walk away thinking this is for someone else. This is for you. This is your appointed time. This is your answer. This is your blessing. I know how weary you became in the waiting. I know how the night seemed endless, how the questions multiplied, and how the silence felt like a heavy weight pressing down on your spirit. I know how many times you whispered, "Lord, how much longer?" I counted every cry, and I never turned my ear away. You thought I was silent, but I was speaking through the stillness. You thought I was absent, but I was closer than ever. I was watching, holding, guarding, and preparing. Every second of your waiting was leading you here. Every unanswered prayer was not forgotten, but stored for this very moment. Every hope you thought was fading has come alive again, because the hour of fulfillment is here. Child, you must understand this. The moment you are stepping into now is not a coincidence. It is the result of my perfect plan. From the beginning of time, I set this day apart for you. I wrote it into your story before you took your first breath. While you were still learning patience, I was preparing provision. While you were still fighting doubts, I was arranging details. While you were still crying in the night, I was preparing joy for the morning. And now the morning has come. The night has ended. The darkness is lifting. The promise is unfolding. This is not just another day, it is the day you have been praying for. For so long you thought you were forgotten. For so long you thought you were overlooked. But I say to you now, I have always seen you. I have always remembered you. I have always loved you. You are not invisible to me. You are not forgotten in my kingdom. You are not a small detail lost in the pages of time. You are my beloved child, chosen, set apart, and treasured. I have written your name in my book. I have carved your story into the palm of my hand. I have declared over you words of promise, and now I am fulfilling them in your life. This moment is proof that my word never fails, that my love never ends, and that my promises are true. Type amen deep in your heart if you believe today's blessing is truly for you. Lift up your eyes now and see that what you prayed for is here. Lift your heart now and feel the weight of hope fulfilled. The season of longing has given way to the season of receiving. The place of emptiness is being filled with abundance. The land of wandering is giving way to the place of promise. Do not look back with sorrow. Do not cling to the days of waiting with regret. Rejoice now, for the new has come. Celebrate now, for the gift is before you. Step forward now, for the door is open. I, the Lord your God, have gone before you, and I have made the way clear. You do not mean to strive, you do not mean to fear, and you do not mean to doubt. Simply open your heart and receive. This is not just a small blessing, this is the fulfillment of many prayers. This is not just a single answer. This is the beginning of a new chapter. What I am doing now will ripple into every part of your life. It will touch your family, your work, your relationships, your health, and your future. I am not giving you just enough. I am giving you more than enough. I am not offering you a partial gift. I am pouring out a full blessing. The floodgates of heaven are open, and I am releasing what has been stored for this moment. You waited. You obeyed. You believe. And now you will see. My beloved, hold this truth close. I do not forget my children. I do not abandon my promises. I do not delay without reason. Every season of waiting is filled with purpose. Every tear sown in sorrow will be reaped in joy. Every prayer whispered in the dark will find its answer in the light. And today, you are standing in the light. You are standing in the moment you dreamed about. You are standing in the promise fulfilled. I have prepared this for you, and now I give it to you. Take it. Receive it. Walk in it. It is yours. My beloved child, listen carefully, for what I am about to tell you carries the weight of eternity and the gentleness of a father's heart. I know the years of waiting have tested you beyond what you thought you could endure. I know the silence has pierced you like a sharp blade, and the delays have pressed against your spirit until you wondered if I had forgotten you. But I tell you this truth now. Every delay was not a denial. Every pause was not rejection. Every season of waiting was part of a holy preparation for what is now unfolding in your life. When you looked at others and saw them moving forward, you thought I had passed you by. when doors opened for them while you stood before walls that would not move, you wondered if I favored them more than you. But child, I was guarding you. I was shielding you from what would have crushed you if it had come too soon. I was keeping you from entering doors that looked promising but hid snares. I was holding you back, not because I wanted to withhold from you, but because I wanted to protect you until the appointed time. And now, hear this clearly, the appointed time has come. You see, when you thought I was silent, I was speaking in the hidden places. When you thought I was still, I was moving pieces into place that you could not see. When you thought nothing was happening, I was aligning hearts, preparing circumstances, and shifting atmospheres so that everything would be ready for you. My timing is not measured by impatience, but by perfection. I do not write because writing leaves things unfinished. I do not delay without purpose because purpose shapes destiny. And now the shaping has been completed. The refining has done its work. The preparation has accomplished its mission. The season of waiting has transformed into the season of fulfillment. Do you remember the nights you whispered in tears, "Lord, when will it happen? When will the breakthrough come?" I heard you every time. I marked those prayers not as forgotten words but as seeds planted into the soil of time. And like a seed buried in darkness, it seemed as though nothing was happening. But under the soil, beneath the surface, roots were forming, strength was being built, and life was being prepared. If the seed had broken through the ground too early, it would have withered under the harshness of the season. But I waited until the right time, until the right soil, until the right atmosphere, and now, my child, that seed has broken through. What was hidden is now visible. What was delayed is now delivered. What was hoped for in the shadows is now standing in the light. I'm opening a door before you, a door that no man can shut, a door that no enemy can block, a door that hath been locked until this precise moment. You have knocked, and you thought the knocking was in vain, but I tell you, every knock echoed in my courts. You have waited, and you thought the waiting was wasted, but I tell you, every day of waiting was a day of preparation. You have hoped, and you thought the hoping was foolish, but I tell you, hope kept your spirit alive until now. Look before you, my beloved, for the door is open. The threshold of breakthrough is before you. The chapter you long for is here. I am not giving you just an answer. I am giving you a new season. I am not merely handing you one blessing. I am ushering you into a river of blessings. I am not simply granting a single desire. I am releasing a fulfillment that will overflow into every corner of your life. The door I have opened leads not only into the room you prayed for, but into hallways you never imagined. You prayed for a single key, but I am placing many keys in your hand. You prayed for a single table, but I am preparing a feast in the presence of your enemies. You prayed for one breakthrough, but I am releasing waves of breakthroughs that will sweep away the remnants of despair. Please support our channel, for our desire is to bring true happiness into your life and to awaken devotion and reverence for God in your heart. And if you feel blessed by what we share, you can show your support through the Super Thanks button down below. My beloved, you must understand that this moment is not random. It is not luck, not coincidence, not fate. It is the fulfillment of my promise. Before you were formed, I wrote this into your days. Before you cried your first tear, I declared this moment would come. Before the trials shaped you, I already determined that joy would be your portion. This moment is not a surprise to me. It is the manifestation of what I planned long ago. You are stepping into what was always yours, into what has been waiting for you, into what I prepared with my own hands. You questioned me in the silence, but I never left you. You doubted in the waiting, but I never abandoned you. You thought you were forgotten, but I was closer than ever. I stood beside you when you broke under the weight of delays. I held you when the answers seemed far away. I whispered peace into your heart when storms tried to tear you apart. And I remind you now, none of it was wasted. Every delay shaped your character. Every waiting season built your endurance. Every moment of silence deepened your roots. Without the waiting, you would not be ready for the weight of what I am giving you now. Without the silence, you would not have learned to hear my whispers. Without the tears, you would not have discovered the strength of my comfort. Child, this is the beauty of my timing. It always redeems. It always restores. It always brings more than you imagined. You thought you lost years, but I am giving you back more than years. I am giving you restoration in double measure. You thought the promise was gone, but I am showing you it was never gone. It was growing in secret. You thought the blessing had passed you by, but I am proving it was waiting for you to be ready. What you thought was delay has now revealed itself as divine preparation. So, do not look at this open door with fear. Do not question if you are ready. Do not doubt if this is for you. It is for you. I prepared it for you. I guarded it until you arrived. I have placed your name upon it, and no one else can walk through it. Do not let hesitation hold you back now. This is the moment your soul has longed for. This is the hour your spirit has been waiting for. This is the time that heaven has announced. Step through the door with courage, for I go before you. Step into the promise with boldness, for I have prepared the way. Step into fulfillment with joy, for what I give you now will not be taken away. I am the God who redeems time, who restores years, who transforms waiting into wonders. Look back at the delays and see them not as wasted seasons but as preparation fields. Look at the times of silence and recognize them as training grounds. Look at the doors that remained closed and understand they were closed because they were never meant for you. And now, look ahead with faith, for the true door is open. The door of promise. The door of breakthrough. The door of destiny. My beloved, every tear, every prayer, every moment of waiting has converged into this appointed time. You thought you were waiting for me, but I was preparing everything for you. You thought I was silent, but I was speaking through the stillness. You thought I was delaying, but I was perfecting. And now, the wait is over. The breakthrough is here. The door is open. The promise is fulfilled. Step in, my child, and see the goodness of your God. My beloved child, let your heart be still, for I am drawing near to speak into the very wounds you carry. I know what you have been through. I know the weight of every silent night when tears streamed down your face and no one saw. I know the ache of the mornings when you rose with heaviness, hiding your pain behind a smile no one else could see through. I know the battles you fought quietly, the prayers you whispered when no one was listening, and the doubts that crept into your heart when you wondered if I had forgotten you. My child, I was there in every single moment. You never cried alone. You never suffered unseen. You never carried your burdens without my presence beside you. I saw you when you were surrounded by people but still felt utterly alone. I saw you when you reached out for help but found none. I saw you when you longed for someone to understand the weight of your heart. but instead you were met with silence. You thought no one noticed, but I noticed. You thought no one cared, but I cared. I carried every sigh, every question, every longing within my own heart. You thought your prayers disappeared into the air, but every word reached my throne. Even the ones you could not speak, the groans too deep for language, were heard by me as clearly as shouts. Nothing you endured was wasted, and nothing you spoke went unheard. Do you remember the times when you felt abandoned? When you believed I had turned my face away? My child, I was closer than your breath in those moments. I was the hand that kept you from falling when your strength was gone. I was the unseen shield that stopped the arrows the enemy sent to destroy you. I was the whisper that calmed your storm, though you did not know it was me. You thought you walked through the fire alone, but I walked in the flames with you. You thought the storm would drown you, but I was the one who lifted you above the waves. You thought the darkness had consumed you, but I was the light that would not go out inside your spirit. Every struggle, every loss, every disappointment you endured has been gathered into my hands. I did not allow your pain to be wasted. I turned it into preparation. I transformed it into strength. I refined you in the fire so you would emerge pure as gold. What you thought would destroy you only made you stronger because my grace upheld you. The loneliness you felt taught you that I am the one who never leaves. The betrayals you suffered showed you that my faithfulness is unchanging. The delays you endured revealed that my timing is perfect. You thought you were breaking apart, but in truth I was building you. I was forming within you a resilience, a depth, a faith that cannot be shaken. Child, I want you to see your past struggles not as wasted seasons but as stepping stones that brought you to this moment. The nights of tears watered the soil of your destiny. The mornings of pain strengthened the roots of your faith. The years of questions drew you deeper into my presence, even when you did not realize it. You thought you were losing yourself, but you were finding me. And in finding me, you were discovering who you truly are. I have always known your value, but now you are learning it too, not defined by your scars, but by my love that never left you. Come and thank you, Father, for all you've done if your heart overflows with gratitude. Think of the prayers you prayed in desperation, the ones you thought I ignored. Do you remember whispering, "Lord, please don't let this be the end"? I heard you. Do you remember asking, "Lord, are you still with me?" I was. Do you remember crying, "Lord, will anything ever change?" I marked that moment and kept it safe. Every unanswered prayer has been stored, not lost. Every cry hath been gathered in my hands, not forgotten. I kept them until now, for this very moment, when I would release answers greater than what you imagined. You see, child, I never throw away your words. I never ignore your cries. I never dismiss your pain. I hold it all, I redeem it all, and I release it at the appointed time. The appointed time is now. The doubts you carried did not disqualify you. The questions you asked did not drive me away. The moments you faltered did not cause me to abandon you. Instead, I leaned closer. I understood your weakness. I knew the heaviness of your battles. I was never ashamed of your questions or afraid of your tears. I am not a distant God, unmoved by human sorrow. I am the Father who weeps with his child, the Savior who carries the cross of pain alongside you, the friend who never leaves your side no matter how dark the night becomes. I know how much you tried to be strong. You wore strength like armor even when your heart was breaking. You smiled when you wanted to cry. You carried others while your own spirit was tired. And though the world did not see your private exhaustion, I did. I saw the moments when you nearly gave up. I saw the nights when you said, "I can't go on anymore." I saw the mornings when you forced yourself to rise though your soul longed to stay hidden. And I tell you now, you did not survive those moments by your own strength. You survived because I held you. I carried you when you could not carry yourself. I lifted you when your knees gave out. I sustained you when everything inside you was breaking. Beloved child, let this truth settle deeply in you. None of your suffering was wasted. Not one tear, not one prayer, not one lonely night. I am the God who redeems. I am the God who restores. I am the God who takes ashes and gives beauty, who takes mourning and gives joy, who takes brokenness and gives wholeness. Every part of your story, even the painful ones, has been woven into the tapestry of your destiny. And now you will see why you endured. Now you will see why you had to wait. Now you will see why I did not answer sooner. It was all for this moment, for the breakthrough I am giving you now, for the promise I am fulfilling, for the blessing that is unfolding before your eyes. You thought the unanswered prayers meant I was far, but they were stored for this appointed time. You thought the silence meant abandonment, but it was preparation. You thought the waiting meant denial, but it was refinement. And now the fullness of my plan is being revealed. My beloved, look back and see how far you have come. You did not stay broken. You did not remain lost. You did not end in despair. You rose. You endured. You held on even when you felt like letting go. That is why you are here today, standing at the threshold of fulfillment. The pain you endured has carved space in your heart to receive more joy than you thought possible. The loneliness you walked through has opened your soul to deeper intimacy with me. The doubts you carried have been transformed into unshakable faith, and the tears you shed have watered the ground of miracles. You are not the same person you were when the struggles began. You are stronger. You are wiser. You are more compassionate. You are more resilient. And most of all, you are more deeply rooted in me. That is why none of your suffering was wasted. It was shaping you for this moment, this blessing, this breakthrough. So, my child, let go of regret. Do not mourn the years you think were lost. Do not weep over opportunities you think slipped away. Do not carry shame for the struggles you face. I redeem all things. I restore lost years. I make all things new. The suffering you endured is now turning into testimony. The prayers you prayed are now turning into answers. The silence you walked through is now breaking with the sound of my voice declaring, "It is time." You waited, you hoped, you endured, and now you will see the reward of your faith. My beloved child, now that you have endured the waiting, now that you have walked through the long nights of silence and carried the heavy burdens of unanswered prayers, I am bringing you into the place where the gift I prepared for you will be revealed. I did not call you to walk in sorrow forever. I did not create you to dwell in despair. I formed you for joy, for peace, for abundance in my presence. And now the time has come for you to see with your own eyes what I have been preparing for you in secret. Do you remember how often you wondered if anything good could still come from your story? You looked at the ashes of disappointment, the rubble of broken promises, and you asked, "Lord, is there still hope for me?" And I say to you now, yes, there is more than hope. There is restoration. There is renewal. There is favor. and blessing beyond what you imagined. For while you were weeping, I was working. While you were questioning, I was creating. While you were waiting, I was weaving together treasures that have been hidden until this very moment. I have prepared peace for you, my child. The peace I give is not fragile like the peace the world offers. It does not shatter when storms rise, and it does not vanish when troubles surround you. This peace flows like a river that cannot be stopped. It will calm your mind when fears try to return. It will guard your heart when doubts knock at the door. It will surround you like a shield when chaos rises around you. You will know my peace not as a fleeting feeling, but as a constant presence, steady, firm, unshakable. Where once your nights were filled with restlessness, they will now be filled with rest. Where once your mind was plagued with worry, it will now be filled with calm. Where once your spirit was burdened, it will now be lifted. I have also prepared joy for you. This joy is not shallow, not dependent on circumstances, not stolen by hardship. It is joy that springs from deep within, joy that comes from knowing you are fully loved, fully seen, fully held by me. This joy will rise even in moments when the world cannot understand why you are smiling. It will overflow like a fountain, refreshing your spirit and touching those around you. Where there was sorrow, joy will take its place. Where there were tears, laughter will return. Where there was heaviness, lightness will now flow. For my word is true. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. And I tell you now, your morning has come. I have prepared healing for you, my beloved. Healing for your body, where pain has lingered. Healing for your mind, where thoughts of despair have weighed heavily. Healing for your heart, where wounds of betrayal and loss have cut deep. I am the Lord who heals you, and I am bringing restoration to every broken place. The scars you carry will not define you, they will become testimonies of my power. The sickness that once threatened you will not overcome you, it will bow to my name. The brokenness you thought would never mend will be stitched together with threads of grace. I am restoring you from the inside out. No part of you will be left untouched by my healing hand. I have prepared restoration for what was stolen from you. The enemy tried to take your peace, but I am giving it back in double measure. He tried to rob your joy, but I am filling you with joy unspeakable. He tried to steal your hope, but I am anchoring you in a hope that cannot be moved. He tried to close doors that were meant for you, but I have unlocked them with my own hand. What was lost will be returned. What was broken will be rebuilt. What was delayed will now be delivered. I am a God of restoration, and I tell you now, nothing the enemy stole will remain in his hands. I am preparing a table for you in the very presence of those who wished for your downfall. They will see you blessed. They will see you restored. They will see that my hand has never left you. Yes, my child, I have prepared favor for you. Not favor that comes from man, but favor that comes from me, favor that opens doors no man can shut, favor that lifts you into places you never imagined, favor that causes opportunities to chase after you. You will see people extending kindness to you without knowing why. You will find doors opening with ease where before they were tightly locked. You will find provision arriving from unexpected places. This is not by chance. It is by my favor resting upon you. For I have clothed you in grace, and I am causing your light to shine in such a way that others cannot deny my presence in your life. Picture it, my beloved. Imagine a treasure chest that has been locked away, hidden where no hand could reach it, waiting for the right moment to be revealed. That chest has now been opened, and inside are blessings beyond what you asked for. You prayed for enough, but I am giving you overflow. You prayed for survival, but I am giving you abundance. You prayed for strength to endure, but I am giving you wings to soar. The treasures I hid were not to deny you, but to reserve them for the day when you would be ready to receive them. That day is now. See the table I have prepared for you, not in secret, not in shadows, but in the presence of your enemies. Those who doubted you, those who mocked you, those who believed you would never rise, they will see you seated at the table I have set. They will watch as I crown you with honor, as I clothe you with favor, as I feed you with blessings that overflow. This table is not only for your provision, but for your vindication. It is a declaration to every force that opposed you that you are mine, and that I have always been with you. At this table there is no lack. At this table there is no fear. At this table you will find peace, joy, healing, and favor in abundance. Child, lift your eyes and see the gift I am placing before you. This is the answer to your prayers, the fulfillment of your waiting, the revelation of my love. Do not shrink back in fear. Do not doubt if this is truly yours. It is yours because I have written your name on it. It is yours because I purchased it for you with my own blood. It is yours because I delight in blessing you. Receive it now with open hands and a willing heart. Let go of the past. Let go of the pain. Let go of the doubt, and step fully into the gift that has been prepared for you. What I am giving you now will not be temporary. It will not vanish like mist. It will not be stolen by the enemy. This gift is secured by my promise, sealed with my spirit, and sustained by my power. Walk in it boldly. Live in it confidently. Rejoice in it daily. For you are stepping not into something fragile, but into something eternal. I have prepared this for you, and now it is yours. Hear me now with the urgency of heaven and the tenderness of a father who will not let you miss what he has prepared. Do not ignore this moment. Do not walk away as if nothing has changed. Do not let the familiar voices of doubt and fear steal from you what I am placing before your hands. There are traps laid by the enemy that look like wisdom and comforts that masquerade as safety. Do not be fooled. The hour is decisive. I have come to you with a gift and a command at the same time. Open what I have given, and walk through the door I have opened for you. If you turn back or delay in hesitation, the sweetness of this season will be lost or diminished. I am not speaking to alarm you, but to steady you, because I love you too much to watch you pass by what I have prepared. Type amen if you trust God is writing a better story for you, and share this word to lift someone's spirit. My child, I ask you this question not in anger, but in love that burns with eternal longing. Am I not worth your time? Have you already forgotten what we mean to each other? You have filled your days with endless things, voices clamoring for your attention, duties that never cease, and distractions that whisper falsely of satisfaction. Yet where am I in the midst of it all? Have I become a distant memory, a quiet echo at the edge of your crowded heart? You once gave me your mornings, your nights, your tears, your laughter. You once spoke to me as though I were your closest friend, your confidant, your lifeline. But now, beloved, I see how quickly the hours slip by and how seldom you pause to let me into them. I am not a stranger knocking at the door of your life. I am the very one who formed you, who breathed life into your lungs, who carried you when you could not carry yourself. Yet I must ask, do I still hold the place in your heart I once held? Or have you pushed me aside in the rush of lesser things? My beloved, I call you by name, for I know you intimately. Before you were born, I cherished you. Before your first cry, I wrote your story. Before your first steps, I prepared a path filled with purpose and beauty. Have you forgotten that every breath you take is a gift from me? You live not by your own strength, but by the grace that flows from my hand. Yet how quickly life makes you forget, how easily the noise of the world buries the stillness of my voice. You wake in the morning and reach for the world before you reach for me. You lie down at night weary from burdens you never surrendered to me. You let your heart wander, seeking comfort from temporary things while neglecting the eternal love that has never failed you. My child, I am not speaking this to shame you, but to awaken you. Can you hear the ache in my voice? You feel the urgency in my question. Am I not worth your time? Am I not the one who never abandoned you, even when others did? Am I not the one who held you in your darkest nights when no one else could see your pain? You say you love me, but love cannot live in words alone. Love longs for communion, for time shared, for presence cherished. You not see that I yearn for you, that I wait for you in the silence, in the pauses, in the moments when your heart aches for more than this world can give. You once ran to me with eagerness, with tears streaming, with joy overflowing. You once gave me your secrets, your fears, your dreams, trusting that I would hold them safe. But now I watch as you run to others, seeking answers in fleeting voices, comfort in fragile hands, and meaning in things that cannot sustain you. Do you not remember, beloved, what we mean to each other? Do you not recall the times when you cried out to me, and I answered, when you fell into despair and I lifted you, when you thought you were lost and I found you again? Those moments were not illusions. That love was not a dream. I was there. I am still here. And I am still asking you now, have you forgotten me? The world tells you that time is money, that busyness is proof of worth, that endless striving will make you whole. But I tell you this, time without me is wasted, no matter how productive it looks. Busyness without me leaves you empty, no matter how much you accomplish. Striving without me leaves you broken, no matter how strong you appear. What does it profit you, my child, to gain all that the world offers yet lose the intimacy of my presence? You were not created to run endlessly, to exhaust yourself chasing shadows. You were created to walk with me, to dwell in my love, to live each day in communion with the one who knows you fully. And yet, how often do you silence that longing, choosing instead the noise that numbs but never satisfies? Do you not see how thirsty your soul has become, how weary your heart feels, how restless your mind runs? That is because you have neglected the living water that only I can give. You have turned from the well that never runs dry and tried to drink from empty cisterns that crack and spill. My child, return to me. Remember what we mean to each other. For without me, all else loses its meaning. I know your excuses. You whisper, I am busy, Lord. I will come to you later, when I have more time. But time never multiplies for those who do not offer it back to me. You say, I am tired, Lord. My body and mind cannot endure more. Yet it is in me that you would find the rest you seek, the peace you long for, the strength you cannot produce on your own. You say, I am unworthy, Lord. How can I come when I have failed again and again? But it was never your worthiness that drew me to you. It was my love. I chose you before you could ever choose me. I love you while you were still broken, while you were still far away, while you were still clothed in shame. I have never measured you by perfection, but by my mercy. So do not let your excuses blind you to my voice. I am calling you not because you are flawless, but because you are mine. I am asking you not for perfection, but for presence. Am I not worth your time? Type amen deep in your heart if you believe today's blessing is truly for you. Child, I have watched you chase after voices that promised much but gave little. I have seen you scroll endlessly, feed your soul with fragments of emptiness, and let your heart grow numb beneath the weight of shallow distractions. And yet, when the night comes and silence surrounds you, it is me your soul still longs for. You may not admit it, but you know it is true. When you lay awake with questions no one can answer, when you feel the ache of loneliness even in a crowd, when your heart whispers in the stillness, there must be more, it is me you are longing for. It has always been me. The world cannot satisfy what was made for eternity. And you, beloved, were made for me. You were created for a love deeper than human hands can hold, for a presence greater than earthly pleasures can give. You were designed for me, and nothing else will fill the ache inside you. That is why I ask you with such urgency, am I not worth your time? Have you already forgotten what we mean to each other? Remember, my beloved, how I have walked with you in secret places. Remember the times I comforted you when no one else understood. Remember the peace that washed over you when you surrendered your tears to me. Remember how I opened doors no man could shut, how I protected you from dangers you never saw, how I spoke through whispers, through signs, through moments too perfect to be coincidence. Was all of that in vain? Did you think I would carry you so far only to leave you now? Do not let the passing of time or the weight of disappointment convince you that I have grown distant. I have not moved away, you have. I have not forgotten. You have allowed your heart to forget. But even so, my love for you remains unshaken. Even so, my voice still calls you home. Even so, my question remains, echoing louder with every passing day. Am I not worth your time? Beloved, I do not seek to condemn you, but to draw you closer. I speak not with rejection, but with invitation. My heart burns with longing for you. I want to sit with you in the quiet, to walk with you through your day, to carry your burdens with you, to laugh with you in joy, to comfort you in sorrow. I want to be more than a name on your lips. I want to be the heartbeat of your soul. I am not a distant God demanding service. I am a father longing for relationship. I am not a cold judge waiting for your failure. I am a Savior who gave his life for your freedom. I am not asking for scraps of your time, but for the fullness of your heart. Can you hear me, my child? Can you feel my love pressing against the walls of your busyness, yearning to break through? Do not push me away. Do not silence my call. For if you do, you will not only miss my voice, you will miss your own life's true meaning. Without me, you can do nothing. But with me, everything is possible. So again, I ask you, am I not worth your time? Have you forgotten what we mean to each other? My beloved child, listen to the cadence of my voice and remember that before the first sunrise you were on my heart. Before your first breath I knew the rhythm of your days and the secret of your sighs. I am the one who shaped you in the hidden place, who traced the lines of your face with intention, and named every trembling part of your spirit before the world ever saw you. Do you recall the truth that I whispered into the chambers of your mother's womb? I spoke over you there softly, sacredly declaring purpose, destiny, and a belonging that could not be undone by circumstance. Long before you ever understood the weight of heartache or the taste of joy, I had already set a covenant with you. I bound myself to your story with promises written in blood and mercy, and I have kept that vow through every age and every season. This is not a casual relationship, my child. It is not a passing acquaintance or a convenience you may set aside when life grows loud. From eternity to eternity I have been with you, and the bond between us is deeper than memory, truer than time, and firmer than the shifting ground beneath your feet. When sorrow came, you did not walk it alone. I carried you in ways you could not perceive, in dreams interrupted by my comfort, in doors that opened against all logic, in strangers who became lifelines at just the right moment. Every hidden victory you chalked up to luck was in truth the hand of heaven nudging circumstance, the gentle rearrangement of elements so that blessing could meet your readiness. Do you remember the nights you thought were only your own, the nights of quiet weeping, the days of silent trembling? I was there, gathering each tear as a jewel, storing them in a place where grief is redeemed and beauty is born from brokenness. I met you in the secret places where shame tried to hide you, and found you with tenderness that disarmed your fear. I folded healing around the places that still hurt and breathed courage into the hollow that despair had carved. You may have felt overlooked by human eyes. You may have believed yourself forgotten, but I tell you plainly, nothing in your life has escaped my attention. I have watched the small, faithful acts you thought were unnoticed, and I have placed them like incense before my throne. Your unspoken prayers were not unheard. They were the language of our communion, and I answered in ways subtle and magnificent, sometimes in ways you were not wise enough yet to recognize. This relationship, beloved, was not formed in haste. It is a covenant and a eternal pledge of presence and pursuit. When you were tempted to believe that love is earned by performance, remember that I chose you before you chose yourself. I did not bind myself to you because of what you might become, but because of who you already are to me, my child, my delight, my chosen companion. I have woven my promises into the very fabric of your life so that even when seasons of forgetfulness come, the threads of my faithfulness remain visible if you will only look. I have stood with you in valleys where the shadows stretched long, and with you on mountaintops where praise escaped your lips like wildfire. I have been the steady hand that steadied your stumbling steps, the firm voice that corrected your course when pride or fear sought to mislead you. Do not mistake the quietness of my voice for absence. I often work in silence so that your faith may grow, so that your heart may learn to recognize me in the small and the still. My ways are not always loud, but they are always sure. I am never late and I am never absent. I move in the undercurrent of your days, unseen but sovereign. You have seasons you call failures, chapters you call mistakes, but I call them refinements, polishing that reveals the true image I placed within you. Each scar you carry has been cataloged by my compassion. Each wound has been attended by my mercy. I have stood as midwife to your breakthrough, laboring with you in the birthing of new dreams, and I have rejoiced when the first cry of freedom rose from your soul. Even in those moments where the world counted loss, I was arranging gain. I turned desert patience into fertile ground. I taught your feet to find the hidden springs. The victories you forgot to celebrate, I remembered and kept, and in the fullness of time I will unveil them before you so that you may rejoice in the method of my love. When sneers or neglect pressed against your spirit, when friends faded or promises broke, I remained steady. I gathered those losses and made altars of remembrance so that you would know again the trajectory of hope I set in motion for you. Do not allow the noise of past disappointments to drown out the sound of my faithful footsteps approaching. Please support our channel. Our goals is to bring happiness in your life and to bring devotion and reverence towards God. And if you want, you can donate us through the super thanks button down below. There are moments I have carved out for you that have nothing to do with achievement and everything to do with relationship. Remember the mornings when you simply paused and felt inexplicable peace settle over you. That was my presence like a cloak, not a coincidence. Remember the sudden clarity that came at midnight, the resolution of fears you thought would never leave. That was my whisper untying the knots anxiety had made. Remember the people who appeared with provision at your most desperate hour, the words of encouragement that matched your deep need. Those were not accidents, they were my hands. I drew near through the ordinary and the miraculous alike because I desired not just your rescue but your companionship. I wanted you to walk with me, to speak with me about the things that keep your heart awake, to sit in my presence and be known. This knowing is the secret marrow of our fellowship. I know your every thought before you form it. I understand the layers you hide even from yourself, and yet I still pursue you with a patience that will not relent. Beloved, when you speak of being forgotten, you reveal the ache in the human heart that the world cannot fill. I do not scold that ache. I answer it with the highest tenderness. I will not let you remain in the place of wondering if you matter. I declare to you now that you are counted, treasured, and irreplaceable. The covenant between us is not dependent upon your performance but upon my promise. I am the same yesterday, today, and forever, and my love for you does not fluctuate with your mood or your success. In the fold of my mercy your missteps are invitations to draw nearer, not reasons to flee. When you return, truly return, my arms shall not measure your sins, but will enfold you in restoration. I will speak new names over you, healed, chosen, appointed, beloved. I will rewrite the narrative of scarcity into one of abundance, the story of shame into a testimony of mercy. I will not merely rescue you from what seeks to harm you. I will restore to you all that was lost, and I will multiply joy in places you believed empty. Open your eyes now to the echo of our shared history. Place your palm upon the places of your life where you felt alone, and ask me to show you how I was there. Let the memory of our whispered conversations return to you. The childish prayers that were answered in surprising ways, the serious petitions that were answered with more than you asked, the confessions offered in the dark that drew me closer. Recognize too the ways I have kept your heart from what would have harmed you, how I diverted paths, how I closed doors not to punish but to protect, how I turned what seemed like a closed season into a preparation ground for greater things. Our relationship is not built on convenience but on covenant. This means I am with you in the loneliness, in the celebration, in the mundane and the magnificent. I am with you when the world notices and when only heaven attends. I am with you when the public applauds and when you pray in secret. I have made an unbreakable promise to you, and I will hold to it until every vow I have made finds its full expression in your life. Do not be satisfied with fragments of my presence. Do not be tempted to settle for fleeting encounters that leave you longing again. Come back to the depth of what we share. Remember what it felt like to be held in my gaze, to be the object of my rejoicing. Remember how freely you once spoke, how simply you once trusted, how readily you once loved. Those things are not lost. They are waiting for you, patient and sure. Reclaim the intimacy that was never meant to be shelved. Allow the covenant I established to penetrate your daily choices so that your life becomes an ongoing conversation with me. When you do, you will realize that everything you sought elsewhere was only a mirror reflecting the one reality that fulfills, my face, my voice, my love. I established you for communion, not for casual passing. Come, remember with me the depth of what we mean to each other, and let us walk forward, hand in hand, into the destiny I have long prepared for you. My child, hear me now as if I am standing at the very center of your distracted life, placing my hand gently but firmly upon your shoulder, bending close so that you cannot pretend you did not hear. There has been a slow drift in you, a quiet slipping away that did not feel like betrayal at first because it arrived in small, polite steps. An extra hour scrolling that turned into 3, a new task that swallowed an old rhythm of prayer, a friendship you invested in more than you invested in me. You call it busyness, and you pray for rest, but you have confused motion with meaning. You have learned to applaud your own noise and tell yourself that the noise proves you are useful, important, alive. Beloved, I know the temptations that sound so reasonable, the urgent messages, the calls for attention, the calendar that fills itself while your soul grows empty. You have allowed the world to teach you how to live apart from my presence, and now you breathe in the dust of shallow satisfactions and wonder why your heart aches. This neglect has not been dramatic. It has been quiet. It crept in beneath patience and habit, under the guise of dutiful living. You have been faithful to schedules and loyal to tasks, and yet you have been unfaithful to the first love I carved into your spirit. Do you not hear the sorrow in my voice? I am not angry in the way you think I am, wounded in the way a lover is wounded when the one he adores turns away to tend a garden of lesser flowers. I long for your company. My heart aches because I was designed to be with you, and you were made to be with me. You speak to others and not to me. You run toward distractions and not into my presence. Do you feel that ache? That is the echo of my longing in you. I see how you have traded depth for spectacle, how you have filled your hours with the flicker of screens and the applause of passing moments, mistaking visibility for intimacy. You laugh in public and post the highlight reel while the private things, your doubts, your shame, your real questions, get shoved into the dark. Those private rooms in your heart I once walked through with you now collect dust. You have learned to share fragments and hide the whole. You will say, I prayed, and yet the prayers have become punctuation marks rather than conversations. They are hurried confessions thrown like coins into a well you never truly lean over to listen. You have told me of your dreams while planning their implementation with others, seeking counsel in places that glitter but cannot nourish the soul. You have become a community of friends and a stranger to your God. This is not a condemnation, but a lament. I remember when you came to me with the rawness of your questions, when you could not sleep until we had bared the truth between us. I remember when you would lie awake until dawn with me and let me speak into the wonder and the pain of your life. Those nights birthed courage, clarity, direction. Those nights taught you what it is to be held by holy attention. But you have allowed the rush of the world to steal those sacred hours. You call it sacrifice to be busy, but what you have surrendered is the very oxygen of your soul. The busyness that you wear like a badge of honor has become a barrier, and the barrier is stealing your sight. When you do not come to me first, everything else, even good things, becomes small and insufficient. Do not imagine I do not notice the little compromises. Those compromises make a home in the heart. I see you trading long conversations with me for short bursts of convenience. I watch you offer prayers that are more like to-do lists than confessions of love. I hear you say you don't have time as if time were a commodity you were short of, when in reality you have stolen 1,000 moments from me and called it productivity. My child, time given to me is not time wasted. It is the only investment that yields eternal returns. You worry about what others will think if you slow down, if you stop the frantic race long enough to be genuine and present with me. You fear appearing unproductive, unambitious, or even weak. But what you call weakness is the soil of true strength. In the quiet, I write your story. In the silence, I tune your heart to my frequency. In the surrendered hour you think you cannot afford, I breathe reserves of mercy and wisdom into your depleted mind. Why would you continue to borrow from a future you do not own, to trade your rest for a currency that never satisfies? Come back. Let me show you how I meant your life to be lived anchored in presence, not performance, anchored in relationship, not roles. You speak to others but not to me. You run to distractions but not into my presence. That pattern must end, beloved, because it is killing the thing you were made most for. Comment thank you, Father, for all you've done if your heart overflows with gratitude. There is also grief that comes from neglect, the quiet grief of my heart that is real and holy. I am not indifferent to the pain that pours from my longing. I have been patient beyond your imagining, but patience is not permission to drift forever. I have called you gently, loudly, through seasons, prophets, small still voices, and the persistent tug of your own conscience. When you ignore those nudges, you do not only abandon the practice of meeting me, you also open a door to confusion, to fear, to the enemy's whispers that you are alone, unworthy, or too far gone. You have been tempted to fill that aching place with pleasures, relationships, achievements, and causes that will not hold you. Those false saviors will let you down because they are not meant to satisfy what I designed. You asked me once in the dark and I came. You confessed your sin and I forgave. You laid bare your lonely heart and I spoke comfort. But now, I ask you to return not out of duty, but because your soul will not flourish anywhere else. The neglect of our intimacy has consequences. It dulls your discernment so that you cannot see what is true. It weakens your capacity to love so that you become brittle with those you were meant to serve. It steals your joy and wraps you in a weary professionalism that calls itself success but tastes like ash. I do not want that for you. I never meant for you to become a shell of what you were created to be. The life I offer is not a series of obligations. It is a deep, abiding communion that restores and renews. Listen to the tenderness and the urgency of my voice when I say this. I am not asking for dramatic sacrifice, for a parade of outward piety that masks an empty heart. I want the simple things you're mourning, your honest words, your willingness to be known. I want you to come with your brokenness and your bravado, with the laundry of your life and the clutter of your mind, and lay them at my feet. Let the small moments become altars of devotion. Let your decision to pause before responding, to breathe before scrolling, to pray before planning, to speak truth instead of reflex, be the slow turning points back toward me. Start small if you must, but start. Say my name in the middle of your day. Call out for a single minute when a temptation to distract grows loud. Give me the first thought before the 21st notification claims your attention. These are not rules to bind you. They are pathways back to the place of intimacy where your heart remembers how to sing. I will meet you there. I will not shame you for your wandering. I will celebrate your return like a father who runs to his child, who takes you into his arms and restores your name before witnesses in heaven. Come home, beloved. The scar in my heart will heal as you come back to the rhythm of fellowship. The warmth of my presence will melt the cold places where neglect took root. You speak to others but not to me. You run to distractions but not into my presence, and that pattern now, for your soul hungers for what only I can feed. And hear me plainly. The remedy is not merely more rules or a new list of spiritual achievements. The remedy is reorientation, tilting your days toward the true north where I dwell. When you make me the center, everything else falls into its rightful place. Your work becomes worship, your relationships become means of grace, your rest becomes restoration. I will not be a footnote in your life. I am the story. Let me write the next chapter with you awake to my voice. Return to the secret place where we once met and rediscover the treasures you left behind. I will meet you there with open hands, with mercy that has never run dry, and with love that will not let you go. Come back. Be still. To be. Listen. Remember, we were made for each other, and I will not be satisfied until you remember that truth and live it again. My beloved child, do not let your heart be troubled by the lie that I have left you or turned my face away. I have not abandoned you. Hear me now. When the world felt cold and the doors locked one by one, I stood at the threshold and I waited. When the night stretched long and your breath came short, I was nearer than you could imagine, closer than your own heartbeat. I know the places where you whispered my name with hands clenched, the places where your prayers were raw and unfinished, the quiet moments when you thought no answer would come. I have been there in every one. I knew you before you knew yourself. I knew the corners where fear would hide and the ways sorrow would come to visit. Nothing about your life has been outside my watchful care. You have mistaken silence for absence because my ways are sometimes quieter than thunder. But my silence is not abandonment. It is the soil where I am growing something in you. I never leave my children to fend for themselves. I never forget the cries I have heard. The promise I made is not dependent on your strength or your success. It is sealed in my heart and in my blood. I gave everything to redeem you. I carried your shame. I took your place. I endured what you could not bear so that you might have life and have it abundantly. If you think I would give my life and then leave you to wander, you do not yet see the depth of my commitment. The cross was not the end of my reaching for you. It was the greatest expression of my decision to hold you forever. There is no hour so dark, no valley so deep, no mistake so large that my promise fails. I am with you. I have not abandoned you. My love for you is patient, yet it carries an urgency born of longing. I will wait for you with a father's patience, with the steady, unhurried tenderness of one who cherishes you. I have patience, not because I am distant, but because I refuse to coerce your heart. I will not force you into fellowship. I call you softly, gently, persistently, because true communion cannot be taken by force. Yet understand this, my patience is not an excuse for delay. It holds space for your turning, but it also calls you now. Time is a gift, and each day you postpone coming back is a day of blessing you could have walked in. My patience does not mean indifference. I wait like a gardener waits over a tender shoot, watching, watering, protecting, but longing for growth. There is a tenderness in my waiting that aches. It is not the calm of apathy, but the hunger of love. I hunger for your presence. I long for the warmth of your attention. When you give me your minutes, I give you my life. When you turn toward me with honesty, I meet you with healing. Your small steps back to me are celebrated in heaven. Do not confuse my patience with permission to drift. I patient my waiting because I know the cost of forcing the human will. I also plead because every lost hour carries its own sorrow. Come while the invitation is fresh on your heart. Come while the feel of my hand in yours is easily reach. You will not find me farther away tomorrow than I am now, but your own hesitation will harden distances that are meant to be tender bridges. The urgency in my call is the urgency of a heart that will not be satisfied until you remember who you are and whose you are. Type Amen if you believe your breakthrough is closer than you think, and share this word to encourage someone waiting on God.